Hey there YouTube, welcome back. This is the Allegheny Northern in N scale, and today we are going to do the May 2024 layout update. Yeah, it's coming to you just a little bit late. It is that time of year where, well, there's just a lot of stuff to do, and trains sort of take a back seat. So that doesn't mean we didn't do anything this month. Let's go ahead in and show you what got done in May. Okay, for those of you who watched the series on making autumn trees, you know I was able to make some more autumn trees from Super Trees with their Super Leaf product. And that means that I was able to then plant those trees on the hillside. So we got the area I'm calling the land bridge between the upper part of the business district and the far intermodal terminal. We got that done, planted those trees there. That was some of them anyway. There was a couple of small items that was completed, and the small items were, if you look back there, you'll see that there are some sheets of lumber that are all wrapped up, and those are packaged. There's two sitting on there on the truck, and then of course I've got some trusses that are there. They're just small detail items, but I'm working on sort of bringing that scene a little bit more to life back there. So not quite done yet, I know, but you also notice around the layout there's a scattering of pallets. I got another set of the pallets. They are an Osborne product, and I just wanted to add a little bit more detail, so there's some more pallets laying all over the layout in various locations. So some small detail work was done in May. Okay, another item that was added was this overhead light. It's got kind of a blue tinge to it, but that was by design because I'm going to make this intermodal yard really light up. And with it lighting up, I want it to be able to represent a night scene. And so that's what's going to happen here. We're going to have ourselves a night scene. There's going to be nice big floodlights, all the try to get lights into all the trucks and big yard lights there. You can see that I've already got the entrance lights lit there, so that'll look good. There's of course signals on the main line, so once that all gets lit up, that's going to be pretty cool. And then if I need some more light, I can just turn on the overhead light, and although it lights up the front area here, it still doesn't quite reach all the way back, so that'll be a nice night scene for the layout. I spent some time doing the thing I hate, and that is speed matching. Yes, I was messing with locomotives. If you watch my DCC Basics series, you know that I was working on trying to get some non-loc sound decoders matched up to some other locomotives. And in this case, these were all Digitrax decoders, so they linked up just fine. But yeah, so that was kind of a pain in the ass, but I spent some time speed matching some locomotives. Here are some of the additional trees that were made, and I do need to extend the plexiglass protector here just because these trees are kind of in the danger zone. So the fascia's not on this yet, and so the plexiglass isn't either. But now that I've got some scenery here that's unfortunately it's right in the steps where you come down, so it's kind of in an arm swinging path, and I just need to get a little bit of plexi there to protect that. I also stopped the trees short, which doesn't necessarily look unrealistic because you got trees over there, then you got a clearing, then you got trees here, so that could be very natural. But I didn't want to put anything on this swing bridge, and knowing that it gets pushed around quite a lot and constantly needs adjustments, I did not want to put any kind of tall foliage on it. So I may do a little bit more with the woodland scenic grasses and stuff like that, but for the most part I think we're going to leave this pretty simple just because it's way too easy to damage. Okay, and here are the rest of the trees that were made, and we're just going to use them back here, sort of in this little village scene, and it's just someplace to sort of scenic up a little bit because most folks probably won't see this area of the layout. It's just hidden a little bit too far beyond, and we just lost our train here, so that was fun. Things that you don't usually see happen on live on live videos, but you know what? At least you know it's just like your railroad, I would assume that sometimes couplers don't do what they're supposed to. But anyway, so here's just another shot. Now, obviously, I've got lights on in front and back, so you're seeing a little bit more light than you would normally, but you're getting that blue tinge here. So I just kind of want you to imagine, these lit up, and then I want you to imagine there being some very tall yard lights here. I want to put lights on the tractors, on the big rigs coming in, and then even on the forklift. So I want to get a lot of LED scenes going on here, just because I think that's going to look really, really cool. Okay, so I did put in a passing siding in my yard back here, and what I did was rework this track, cut this back a little bit. So I've got two tracks coming in depending on whether you're a northbound or a southbound train. You'll briefly merge. If you're going into the yard, then you'll go straight ahead. If you're going into the upper deck, you've got the passing siding here available. And then I ran that all the way down through the hidden staging. And what that does is, let me show you here. I'm going to take you for a little spin. It just reconnects right here at the end of the yard and then takes you back up the helix to where you can drop your cars off at either the hidden staging for the intermodal yard. You can go directly to the intermodal yard, or you can continue through this yard and go to the coal mine, or in either one of these options, you can drop cars off at the small industrial area up on the upper layout. So that opened up a lot of operation, just being able to do that now that I don't have to worry about keeping an empty track in my yard. So, and then also I ran my bus line for the DCC all the way back through here. It's not supported yet. I'm still working back here. So rather than having it temped in with the small wires that you see here, I put some legitimate bus wire 14 gauge in. So let's actually go take a look at some of the clips that I was using, because they're kind of cool. Okay, so we all know that this bridge that connects the hidden staging with the rest of the layout needs to be movable, because obviously I have stuff back here I need to get to in my daily life. So what I did was, other than having my latches, which keeps everything in alignment, and then I have my sort of suitcase latches here, which I can unclip and then pull apart. And then these two segments will just roll out of the way. Well, what I wanted to do is carry the bus line back here, but I needed a way to also separate the bus line. So I have these little, they're called lever nuts. But what they are is basically the wire goes inside one of these little dudes right here, and if you flip this lever up, you can pull your wire out, and then if you want to reconnect it, you just put it back in there and lock it down, and it makes the connection. And so what I did is I gave myself some slack, because sometimes I might not want to move these things necessarily all the way out of the way. And I didn't bury my wire underneath, because once again, this is not an area that's going to get scenic. So I wanted to be able to see the wire, have it visible. But now I can, anytime I want to move these things, I've got a little bit of slack in them so that I can move them. But otherwise, they are real easy to just pop these four little guys out. And then that disconnects my bus line, and I'm good to go. So right now, I have been able to pretty much leave this thing in place and just sort of duck under it when I need to get to the laundry, and there's enough room to move around back there for me, so it's not a huge deal. But you know, sometimes I just don't feel like ducking under shit, and that's great to be able to pull this thing out of the way. And these little clip things are pretty cool. So got them at Home Depot. If you were looking for something similar, they have different wire sizes. Know what size wire you have, and then you just get the right size clip, and there it is. If you wanted to conceal this or use this for things that aren't necessarily movable, you could totally do that. Get great connection from them, and you know, I don't know how well they're going to hold up over the test of time, but we'll find out, and I'll report back if I have any issues. But so far, there hasn't been any issues, so we're going to say it's a good idea. And then lastly, I am working on the Walthers RJ Frost kit, and you can see that it is making some progress, but yeah, not really. Haven't done a whole lot other than get some basic weathering on it and some basic paint. I built some little odds and ends for it, but it's not a terribly complicated kit. And I was actually going to do a how-to basic, beginner video on it. And with everything that was going on, I just decided, you know what, that it was not an interesting topic that I really thought was going to be a video worth putting together. So after I filmed a good number of segments, I went, I'm not going to do it. So I deleted those. It's not a complicated kit. It literally is 4 walls and 3 if you got this little guy. But it's just not really all that exciting, so we skipped it. I am going to do a video, if I take you right over here, when I do this little guy, though, because it is a laser cut wood building. I really enjoy wood models, and I want you to come along with me on that journey. So when I do that, I will bring you along for that one. Okay, so that was us for the month of May. It was a few odds and ends, not a ton of stuff. And this is actually the first month in, I don't even know how long, where I purchased nothing for the layout. Everything that you saw that was installed was purchased previous to May, and there was not a dime spent on model railroading in the month of May. It's very sad, but I promise I'm going to turn that around here in June, because all of the major purchases that I need to make for life were made in May, and now my time and effort can be spent a little bit more on the fun stuff, which is trains. So looking to get some signals this month. Also, I understand Scale Trains is going to drop some new locomotives that I've got pre-ordered, so there's going to be some new locomotives this month, and that's always a fun time. And so we'll be updating our fleet here, and getting some of those structure kits that I have built ready to go and out the door here, so that I can get them on the layout. And then I'm pretty much going to be done with structures for the layout. I don't have too many more to go, so sort of a milestone, and once again kind of a sad one. But June is just as busy as May was, and July is even more so. So we're gonna see how far we get. I want to get the RJ freezer, or whatever the hell that thing's called, the Walthers kit. I want to get that built, and then I do want to spend a little bit of time working on some scenery stuff here. So there's a chance that I might get some scenery product, just because I would like to get some areas done that I've got sort of as the Plywood Pacific right now. But that is pretty much going to be us for the month of May. So I hope everybody is enjoying the start to their summer. And I know some of you, my area included, have had a little bit of a rough go of it with the weather here. But it looks like June's going to be a little bit calmer for most of us. So we'll take it. And we'll see you with a video here next weekend. Don't know what we're going to do yet. It might just be some trains running, which no one will ever complain about that.